Listen to what this man of God had to say.
To keep on telling our people that giving will make you rich. And we have several graduates who are jobless. Giving will make you rich. And you know you are giving to the rich. And the Bible says you become poor. Me, conveniently, you see me using 5G. By your 1, by your 2, by your 3, by your 4. And the 6th one, Mopo, Amatekun. Then the one in front, Soldier. And you are still giving to me. You are not waking up. Somebody say you should be saying that all this your shepherd. And he is using bodyguard. Sorry, if you know that God is his own shepherd. And he will walk through the valley of Shadow. Why is he say Amatekun? Why is he say Mopo? Why is he say bodyguards? Hello, conveniently, you can give him millions of dollars and you still want your church member to be comfortable.
Imagine preaching tithe ordinance to a widow who received pension that she must tithe, and you can defend that legally, and you are wrong. What do you need the widow's pension for in the name of generosity? What do you need the pocket money of undergraduates for in the name of generosity? When you are preaching in a university and you ask for 1 million naira seed, you must be wicked. You are either wicked or you are promoting internet fraud. I promise you, if I give my child school fees to pay and he gives you and you collect it, you will start your prison ministry immediately. You know, someone was preaching, he was preaching in the US. He said, even if you don't have the money, use your credit card. And it will not end, because when they are in debt and they could not pay, there would be another service, debt cancellation. And for that, you will sow again. Listen, let me tell you something. There are some instances where the people themselves feel stirred by the Spirit to do this thing. But you must make sure, even in preaching, that you don't over-ginger people. There are some seeds you cannot receive. It's just like during war, one of the servants of David went through a lot to bring a cup of water for David. David couldn't drink it. There are some gifts you can't receive if you have conscience. May the Lord help us.
That idea of telling you just give and you will prosper is a scam. Everybody prospering in this kingdom is doing something.
If you don't sow, you're going to hell. That's what people teach. One of the key things, if you're going to make wealth, is hard work, not sowing.
If you want money, there are 4 things you must do. Number 1, sell something. Number 2, provide a service. Number 3, get a job. You can't do any of these 3 things, then create something that is of value. Tithe does not make millionaires. Every principle that has to do with giving is not transactional. It is a love affair. We give because we love God, not because God is a money doubler. Not like I sat down in church, God said give your 2,000 that is left, I gave that 2,000, I'm expecting tomorrow it should be 20,000. Nah, lie. If somebody gives you is by chance, I can sit down with you and calculate the probability. Is giving powerful and important? Yes. But you must understand that you are not trying to transact with God. Apologies, but I must tell you, how do you put service time at the season people should be working and you are still praying they should be blessed? You must understand the principles that opens the door. The principles that makes room for advancement when it comes to finance is exchange of value for value.
Ephesians 4. Let him who stole steal no longer, but rather let him labor, working with his hand. What is good, that he may have something to give him who has need. Why will you steal on something you know you can labor for? You come and tell somebody the law say when God did not say, and you collect 50 million from them as a man of God, and you build a cathedral. That church is under a stolen money. Anything you can collect from somebody to enrich yourself, you are a thief. Because the person you lie for did not get their testimony.
No matter how faithful you are and how good you are to God and all the wonderful things you do for God, he will not reward you with good health, and he will not reward you with financial prosperity, because those two are not a reward. God will not reward you with good health because you are committed to him. Your standard of life is up to you. Your reward for serving him will be given to you in heaven. Your life on earth will depend on your knowledge of the word and the application thereof. When the Holy Spirit showed this to me, I was amazed. Bad things do happen to good people. They happen to bad people and they happen to good people.
Leave all these so-called prosperity preachers who will tell you give and your money will multiply. God is not in MMM. Stop giving to God to multiply your money. It's fraud. There's no such thing. No such thing. If you want your money to increase, get more jobs. Get more business. You will increase your money. But where God is concerned, when you give, it doesn't multiply. Rather, your giving translates into the salvation of souls for eternal reward. He said, many of the fathers of faith of your generation are indeed fathers, but of the faith of Mammon. He showed me in scriptures, and I've read scriptures. And he said, when Yeshua walked the world, Yeshua healed the sick. He did many things, but do you notice he never prayed for one poor man who became rich? Where a poor man said, I came to Jesus, and then after Jesus prayed to me, I went back and then I became a millionaire. Not one. Okay, maybe he forgot. Now let's look at the life of the apostles, these first students of Yeshua. Now they did many things by the name of the Lord. Cleansed lepers, healed the sick, raised the dead, and did all manner of miracles. But they did not pray for one poor man who became a rich man. So how come our generation is praying to God for Mammon? I came with a heavy word to expose the schemes of that God called Mammon, because he has disguised himself to become the God of the church.
All those preachers that tell you if you give into my anointing, you'll be a millionaire. They are the ones that become the millionaires. They are the ones that become the millionaires. You saying Jesus cannot make a man a millionaire? Are you thinking? Look at the Bible. Who did Jesus make a millionaire himself? In his 3.5 years, who became a millionaire by following him? That's not his mission. He didn't come to produce millionaires. Nobody in the ministry of Jesus became a millionaire by following him. The millionaires that came around him were already millionaires before they met him. Look at the ministry of Brother Paul. Who became a millionaire by following Brother Paul? But what did people become by following Jesus? They became ministers. What did people become by following Paul? They became ministers. What about Peter? Same thing. Jesus is the model for ministry. What he never did, no preacher can do it. If I'm teaching, say I hear you. So we're not following Jesus to be millionaires. We're following Jesus to advance his cause on the earth. Anyone who says, when I speak into your life and you sow to me, you will prosper, he's coming you. He's coming you. And that's what the materialistic gospel preachers don't like about me, because I'm exposing their fraudulent talk. But you know why I'm exposing? Because I was there and I know everything. And I know the whole thing. So I know it's a scam. If Jesus could not have that kind of anointing, nobody else can have it. Was he anointed? Yes. How God anointed Jesus Christ of Nazareth, who went about raising millionaires. What does he say? Who went about doing good, so that you won't think the good is ambiguous. He now explains what doing good is. Healing all that were oppressed of the devil, for God was with him. I'm teaching you Bible here.
Are you aware data just came out that Nigeria just overtook India with the highest number of extremely poor people in the world? He said, what? I said, it's on the internet, go and check it. I said, do you remember also that we've been teaching prosperity in Nigeria for 30 to 40 years? He said, yes. I said, so as you can see, we don't deal with data. So where is the teaching? What is the result of the teaching? If after teaching prosperity for 30 to 40 years, we now produced the highest number of extremely poor people in the world, overtaking India, whose population is 4 times or 5 times that of Nigeria. I said, something is wrong with the curriculum. He said, sir, don't say this outside. You are going to spoil business for people.
How can someone who is promising to make you wealthy by miracle, who only has to prophesy to you to be wealthy, make you wealthy, at the end is he asking you for seed? You see that they don't use your head too much, Abby? You're supposed to thank me.
Okay, my brothers and sisters, after listening to what these preachers had to say, what is your opinion? What do you take out of it? Let us hear that in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. But let me just say this before I go. You guys all know my stand on prosperity gospel. I honestly believe that it has been a way for some men of God to enrich themselves. Prosperity gospel, sowing of seed gospel, paying tithe gospel has only benefited men of God. Their members haven't benefited from it, because it was never something that was meant to benefit the members. That wasn't the purpose. The purpose was to enrich the preachers, and the preachers have preached this day in, day out. So if you're one of those Christians out there thinking that sowing seed will kind of like challenge God to double your income, or to double the money you have in your account, or to double the money you give to a man of God as tithe, know that it is a big lie. It will never, ever happen. Never, ever. The men of God know this very well. They do know this. And the only reason they preach this is because it benefits them very much. And so they will do whatever it takes to protect this source of income. It will never, ever benefit you. Never, ever. Never, ever. Believe me, my brothers and sisters, never, ever. There are things you can do to build wealth for yourself. There are methods you can apply to create wealth for yourself. There are ways you can go about creating wealth for yourself. Like most of the preachers, if not all, in the video you just watched said, you have to be of service to people. You have to work hard. You have to create something. You have to do something. Giving tithes, sowing seeds is great, but they will not enrich you. They will not put money in your bank account. They will not put food on your table. The only way you put food on your table, the only way you have something to eat, the only way you'll be able to take care of yourself and your loved ones is to start working really, really hard. Is to start doing something that will benefit you along the way. Start that small business that you have been thinking about. Go and learn that particular skills that you think is valuable in the marketplace. Start looking for a job here and there. Do some farming by yourself. Go out there and look at problems that people are looking solutions for and create solutions. These are the only ways you are ever going to be able to create as much wealth as you want for yourself. That is what you have got to do. Anything other than that is just a scam. If a man of God told you that come to him and sow seed and give your hard-earned money to him, and he will miraculously make you prosperous. Remember, the only one who became rich is the man of God. The only one who will become rich as a result of this transaction between you and him is the man of God. Never you. Never, ever you. You have got to know this by now. You know, I tell people, right, let's just imagine something for a second, okay? Your whole intention of giving this money to them is so that God blesses you with more wealth, right? And you believe that by sowing seed, by doing donations, by going to church, by paying tithe, somehow God will double the money you have and give it back to you, right? Imagine that rather than doing something like this, which you are not sure, you save that money and use it to start up a business. How better would that be? Because you are giving your money to a man of God, all in the hope that you get something in return. And whatever you get in return is beyond your control. Why not do something that is within your control? Why not do something that you can control the in and the out? You can buy what you want to buy. You can sell what you want to sell. You have total control over that business. Don't you think this one is way more better? Don't you think so? So, my brothers and sisters, the reason why we keep on talking about things like this is just because when you look across the continent and you look at the mega churches that we have, and then you look at the poor people in our community, how do you really feel? How do you really feel? I have always asked this question. If those mega churches were manufacturing plants, how much better would our lives have become? If all those Bishop David Oyedepo and Papa Enoch Adeboye and Johnson Suleimanu with the Joshua Selman, if all those are mega churches were all production facilities, were all manufacturing plants, were all places that we manufacture goods, how much better would our lives have become? Has anyone given that a thought? Has anyone? Now, I'm not saying that people don't believe in God. I'm not saying that people don't go to church. I'm not saying that believing in a higher authority is wrong. What I'm saying is, if the number of churches that we have in our community were production facilities, were manufacturing plants, were places that people can learn a particular skills that can help them in their daily lives, how much better would we have become? It's just a question that I'm asking, and I'm hoping that you guys can answer me. How much better would we have become? Let me say this one more time before I go. By all means, go to church. If you want that, you have my 100% support. By all means, support your man of God. Support God's work on earth. Do that. It's a blessing to do that. Support the needy and the poor in your society. That is excellent. Do it. But remember, doing all that because you want God to double your money will never happen. Doing all that because somehow you think that by doing those things, God will put wealth in your hands. That is never going to happen. Never, ever. It has never happened. It won't happen to you. You are no special. You are no exception. You are nobody. So it won't happen to you. If a man of God promises you that, if a man of God told you that, they lie to you. And you should stop going to their church. They lie to you. I don't know if you watched the video I did yesterday about a lady who was complaining of being scammed by a preacher in Abuja. And she was scammed up to an amount of about 2.2 million naira. After she was diagnosed with cancer, and the doctor told her that her days were numbered and that she should start putting her things in order. Rather than doing that, rather than finding peace within herself, rather than apologizing and making amends with all the people she might have offended, she turned to a man of God, and the man of God promised her healing and then asked her for a sum of money, which she gave according to what she said. And that was all. The healing she didn't get, and she is indebted to a bank. She has to pay this money to a bank. This is what signs and wonders get you. Whenever you thought that all you need from the Lord is a reward, whenever you thought that all you need from God is benefits, you are going to end up like this. I am sorry to say this. Really, I empathize with her, and I totally understand her situation. But my point is, whenever you thought that all you could get from the Lord are personal rewards, personal benefits, you end up like her.